Hey guys, I just got back from the pharmacy where I picked up my very first dose of isotretinoin. My doctor has me taking amnestine at 40 milligrams once a day. She says depending on the progress that we see and the kind of side effects that I experience between now and my first follow-up appointment in a month, she might bump me up to 60 milligrams once a day. It's just kind of going to depend. Isotretinoin dosage is based on body weight, and I'm kind of between ranges, so she said I could stay on 40 milligrams once a day for the entire treatment program, or I could go up to 60 milligrams and be fine. Just to give a little bit of clarification, isotretinoin is most commonly referred to as Accutane, but technically Accutane is a brand of isotretinoin that is not available anymore. Isotretinoin would be the generic form of the prescription. There are several different brands available, and I honestly don't know much about the different brands, but that's something that you can Google if you want to learn more about them. So isotretinoin is a pretty serious prescription, and it's very heavily regulated. Two of the major side effects that it's most known for are severe birth defects. So if you're a female on isotretinoin, then you have to be on 2 forms of birth control, and that is very heavily regulated. Your dermatologist has to enroll you in what's called the I-Pledge program, and basically through that program you're agreeing to be on 2 forms of birth control during the entire treatment program, and then every single month you have to meet with your doctor, take a negative pregnancy test. Your doctor has to go online and answer some questions, and then you have to go online and answer some questions, and all of that has to take place before the pharmacy will even fill the prescription. And then you have 7 days from, I think, the time that you take the negative pregnancy test. You have about 7 days for all of that to happen, and then also pick up the prescription. And then if you don't pick it up in time, you have to wait a certain period of time for that all to start over again. And if it's your first time picking up the prescription, like your first dose, and you miss picking it up in time, then you have to wait 19 days before you can take another pregnancy test. So it's pretty serious. The other major side effect that Accutane is known for is severe depression, and that includes thoughts and attempts of suicide. And from what I've read, some people actually have committed suicide while on Accutane, so that's pretty scary. Mental health is something that I take very seriously. Depression and anxiety both run in my family, and they are things that I personally have dealt with in the past, so that's something that I'm a little bit nervous about. But I think that if you take the right steps, and if you monitor how you're feeling throughout the process, and if you're honest with yourself, that it can be manageable. Not everybody even experiences those side effects. It's just known that some people have. So I think that if you are to start experiencing any of those side effects, you can stop taking the medication at any time. And I think that the symptoms go away within about like 8 to 10 days. And then the medication is out of your system within, I think, like 2 to 4 weeks or something like that. So it's not like it's 6 or 12 months that your body's trying to come down off of those side effects. So that's pretty reassuring to me. Just to give a little bit of background, I personally have been dealing with acne since I was about 12 years old, and I have tried literally almost every single kind of treatment available outside of Accutane. So I've tried everything over the counter. I've been on almost every single kind of prescription treatment available. I've done laser light therapy. I've done microdermabrasion. I've done chemical peels. I've done microneedling. Like, you name it, I've tried it. And this is what I'm still dealing with. So my brother was on Accutane when we were in high school, and he has had perfect skin ever since. So I'm hopeful that since we have similar DNA, that I will experience similar results. And he didn't really experience any of the severe side effects, so I'm hopeful that I might not experience them as well. Some of the more common side effects are severe dryness, so like flaky, dry skin. It can cause like your eyes to dry out too. It can cause nosebleeds, so it's a lot. I actually am not starting the medication immediately because I'm finishing up a round of antibiotics for strep throat at the moment. The pharmacist said it's okay to take them both at the same time, but I don't want to take any chances of either one of the medications not working as well, so I'm just going to wait. And in the meantime, I've been doing a lot of research on just the side effects that people have experienced and how they've kind of conquered them, or dealt with them at least, during their treatment program. So I've been looking into a lot of products for severely dry skin, basically. Up until now, I've been using an enzyme cleanser, and that is going to be too harsh while I'm taking the Isotretinoin. I've also been using a charcoal moisturizer, which is supposed to cleanse the skin and kind of detox it, and that also is not going to be mild enough while I'm on Accutane. So I'm just kind of looking into that right now, and I'll get a humidifier for my bedroom and probably like a small desk size one to bring to work, to keep on my desk throughout the day. And I'll do another video at some point on the products that I'm using and how I like them or don't like them, or how I might need to change them throughout my treatment program. So we'll get into that one later. So for birth control, for girls, if you're on Accutane, you have to be on 2 forms of birth control due to Accutane being known to cause severe birth defects. And like I said, they're very serious about it. So I was not on any kind of birth control before taking Accutane, and I've always been pretty against the idea of taking any kind of birth control, just because I'm kind of a health nut and I don't like the idea of putting artificial hormones into my body. I actually did take birth control for about 6 months in college for my skin, and it made my skin a lot worse, and it gave me crazy mood swings, and I just was not a fan of it. So I've been pretty against the idea of birth control since then, but for the sake of Accutane, there's not really any way around it. Fortunately, my partner has had a vasectomy, so that helps as one form. The second form could be condoms, but just to be safe, I ended up going with a non-hormonal IUD as my second form. Technically, the IUD is the first form, and the vasectomy is the second form. That's how they've ranked it on my iPledge program. So I did go with getting a Paragard copper IUD, and I got that about a week ago, and it was not a fun experience, but that's for another video. So yeah, I'm very excited to be starting Isotretinoin, and my hope with these videos is to encourage anybody who's thinking about starting Accutane, or who might have just started as well and wants to see how other people's experiences are. My hope is to be that source for somebody. I actually decided to start taking Accutane because I know a girl personally who did like an Instagram progress journey of her Accutane experience, and that really encouraged me and inspired me to talk to my dermatologist about this. So I'm really excited, and I hope that I can help inspire or encourage somebody else to maybe think about it too, and maybe provide some new information or some helpful information along the way. So I will continue to do videos throughout my treatment program, and I will do more posts and updates and that kind of thing on how I'm doing with it and what my experience is. So yeah, we'll see how it goes.